And our last speaker today is Bridget Williams. You can see my beautiful bead necklace over here. She'll tell you a bit more about that. So over to you, Bridget.
Thanks, Erica, and thanks for making me last. It's a really hard act to follow. Oh, April and Josiah, you guys are inspiring. I'm going to quickly share my screen. Can everyone hear me okay? Yep, fantastic. Okay, great. All right. Just make it go. Okay, so tēnā koutou katoa, ko Bridget toka ingoa no o te tahi aho, he kai mahi aho I te kamipeni o Bead and Proceed, he mihi mai o ha kia koutou katoa. So kia ora everyone, my name is Bridget Williams, I'm from Christchurch, Otatahi, and I lead a social enterprise called Bead and Proceed. A massive thank you to Lana and Erica, Suze and Chris for putting this all together. The day is finally here, and what a way to end a week. So I have been asked to share my leadership journey and the lessons that I've learned along the way. And for me, I didn't start really thinking about leadership until I met this guy here. So this gentleman, his name is called Pericles, and he was Strategoi of Athens, which is basically mayor of Athens. And he was an incredible leader. In fact, it's because of his leadership that Athens had what we know as the Golden Age, that time in ancient Greek history that we know and love today, that was through his leadership. And one of his quotes that I think really encapsulates leadership is this one here. What you leave behind is not what is engraved in stone monuments, but woven into the lives of others. And I think as people from Christchurch who have been through, the earthquake, we understand that infrastructure isn't the most important thing. It's about how we connect with each other. That's really what is special when we leave behind. And the two other things that Pericles instilled in me when it comes to leadership is that he really promoted active citizenship, and he was a massive enthusiast for creativity. So in terms of active citizenship, I really got my taste for that when I was a part of the Student Volunteer Army. So after the earthquakes, obviously we all mobilized and helped to clean up the city. But fast forward 2 years later, and I was lucky enough to be president of the Student Volunteer Army in 2013 and 14. And it was a really vital time for SVA, as we had only been known as silt shovelers up until then. But obviously students are so much more than that. So we really had to take this time to future-proof the club. So we changed the logo, and we illustrated that we're more than just capable of shoveling silt. And what I love is seeing how SVA is still doing awesome stuff and showing how there are different acts of service with what's going on with COVID-19. But during my time as president of SVA, I also got a taste to understand just how important it is for there to be diverse representation for decision makers. That's giving young people a voice around the table. And so I was shoulder tapped by someone to stand for the local elections. So I did that in 2013. I put my head in the ring and ran for the elections. And it's been an amazing time because so this is now my third term standing for the Pendleton Waimari Harewood Community Board. And it was during this leadership opportunity that I really understood how important it is for us to be active citizens, to take a stand for something that we care about, and to do what we can to make an impact in the decisions that are being made around the future, especially for young people, because obviously the city and the decisions being made today are going to impact us in the future. And through these experiences, I realized that, you can face a bit of backlash sometimes, and it can be a really difficult time, putting yourself out there. So it's important to surround yourself with positive people, like-minded people, and to really find your community and tribe. And from there, I was lucky enough to find those people by joining the World Economic Forum Global Shapers Hub. So this is made up, obviously, Erica is one of them, no surprises there, but this is made up of 23 change agents in Christchurch, and it's full of young, diverse people who believe in the importance of making the world a better place and shaping the world we want. So you might be thinking, okay, Bridget's leadership journey has sort of gone from one thing to the next, like a very clear journey, you know, no hiccups along the way. Wow, cue massive roadblock and uncertainty. So while I was pursuing these roles and experiences, I was also a lawyer, and I had been doing law for about 3 years. And while I studied law for 5 years through uni, and I summer clerked and got a really great grad position at a great law firm, I was deeply, deeply unhappy. And I was so confused because I was that lawyer I always wanted to be, and I felt like I should be more grateful. But I just felt as though I was a fraud. I felt like I wasn't adding any value to the firm or to the clients or to the world or to myself, and I desperately just wanted to unleash this creative side that I had put on ice for so long. So I made a necklace. And when I made it, I got lost in this process of creativity, being in the state of flow, thinking up creative ideas. And when I put the necklace on, I felt this sense of achievement. I had created value out of nothing. But during the same time, I also discovered the 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals. So there they were in all their colourful glory. And of course, you guys might know these SDGs. They address the biggest issues in today's society, from climate action, gender equality, zero hunger, life on land, life below water, and they're to be achieved by 2030. But the problem is that not enough people know that they even exist. And so then it hit me. What if the beads you paint represent the top 5 SDGs that you want to work on and commit to? So then these necklaces and bracelets and key rings serve as a conversation starter to help spread awareness, or to help raise awareness, and also as a reminder of your commitment to the chosen 5. But also, most importantly, it's about making space to get creative and to think up innovative ideas and solutions to solve the goals, because creativity sparks creativity. So Bead and Proceed went from an idea to an actual social enterprise after I received funding from the UN Association Trust for the first order of kits. And our kits are SDG, oh, there's Erica. And our kits are SDG aligned. And they are also a story in themselves, which I won't get into. But people could buy a kit online, and that was great. They could host their own workshop to learn about the SDGs, and they had something to anchor their learning. But I started to get approached from businesses and organizations who were asking me if I could run workshops for their team and staff members. And so that is where Bead and Proceed Epic was born. So Bead and Proceed Epic is a 3-hour fully facilitated workshop hosted by yours truly. We're always looking for more facilitators, but it's a great team building activity, and it's a way to really take staff on the company's SDG journey. So a decision had to be made. Do I leave my law job to paint beads full time? And the answer came back to Pericles. This was something that had active citizenship, and it was about celebrating creativity. And also it made me think about, what am I leaving behind? And for me, I want that to be a better world, one that's sustainable and is there for our children and our children's children to play and create. However, making this decision was hard, because I had to get over the stigma of saying, I'm a lawyer, to I paint beads. And that was difficult. It was odd. And the big thing as well is I really had to push past what my parents thought. In fact, my dad today still doesn't quite get what I'm doing. I'm sure he'd love me to go back to law. But that's the thing about leadership, right? It requires taking the leap sometimes despite what others think, because you're doing it for something that is bigger than you, but better because of you. And not everyone's going to understand that. And the cool thing is that when you do take that leap, amazing opportunities will open up when you make that commitment. So since working on Bead and Proceed full-time for just over a year, I've been lucky enough to meet and be endorsed by the Right Honourable Helen Clark. I've connected with the UN Secretary General and been taught by one of the world leaders in climate change, Vice President Al Gore. And I've also been invited to present Bead and Proceed in Osaka and to the Imperial Palace of Japan. Like, what? Would never have had those opportunities if I stayed as a lawyer. And the other cool thing is we've just launched Bead and Proceed, Bead and Proceed, which has been a response to COVID-19, and it's been really exciting because this has launched us to go global and to help scale our impact. So what this has taught me is that when you follow your strengths and values, you can create your own golden age. I think, you know, like Pericles, it's about leaving behind something bigger and stronger than stone monuments, and inspiring others to back their crazy and wild ideas that will change the world. So thank you so much.